Hello and welcome to Young Turks, the show that puts the spotlight on young Indian achievers every single week and takes you through their journey to success. I'm Shireen Bhan, and over the next 30 minutes I'll be joined by my colleagues from across India, so stay on with us for the Young Turks ride. My guest today gave up a career in investment banking in the UK, came back to India to help Indian students find the best fit for themselves in universities in the United Kingdom. He's now looking at other international education markets as well. Let's catch up with Kunal Oberoi of Education Link. After studying in the UK, Kunal Oberoi joined the high-profile investment banking community but gave it all up to come back home and take over the reins of Education Link in 2000. An overseas education consultancy, Education Link was his father's idea. It counsels students and parents applying to universities abroad and helps them organize everything from applications, scholarships and even accommodation.
The idea of education has always fascinated me, and this is the area, where I'm working for the benefit of my country. I'm informing students about various prospects abroad.
So you were studying in the UK and you saw that there was a gap there and that Indian students weren't really aware of the courses, how the university system works, scholarships, funding, and you felt that Education Link could help bridge that gap. Certainly,
we were working with some of the leading institutions here in India. We had been giving a lot of counseling and advice to candidates about the courses, they should be opting for here in India. And I thought, that probably same kind of an activity could be done for the universities which are there in UK or, any of the overseas institutions.
So 6 years ago, you were probably on a plane, traveling, trying to tie up with universities because the students don't actually pay you, it's the universities that pay you because
all
you're
our
representing
services,
them.
Certainly. All our services are completely free of cost. We are not charging anything from the students. Applying to the university, education helps you out. Students applying to the universities for scholarships, Education Link helps you out. Students trying to file in their visa papers, we'll give you the right kind of a guidance. Students looking for their accommodation within those universities, Education Link helps you out.
The United Kingdom is Education Link's biggest market. A preferred partner of the British High Commission, they represent almost 35 universities in the UK, including Stirling, Aberdeen, Northampton and the University of East London. But Kunal is hoping to capitalize on newer education markets and has already tied up with universities and institutes in the European Union, Canada and Australia. But how hard was it actually when you started? Because, trying to convince UK universities that to tie up with Education Link, you were a new company, they probably didn't know very much about you. It's also a space which we have seen a lot of competition in the past couple of years. So how hard was it to convince them that you should be the preferred choice?
Shireen, it takes a lot of time actually to convince the international officers and the people there in UK that you're doing the right kind of activities here in India. But slowly and gradually, yes, once they realize that Education Link is an ethical organization, working in a very transparent manner and giving the right kind of advice to the candidates.
But how much of the due diligence do you actually do? Because in India we have a problem of forged documents and so on and so forth. So how involved is Education Link with that process? How much of screening of the papers from the candidates end do you actually end up doing, and do you actually take responsibility then if something goes wrong?
I'll tell you something about it, Shireen. We are the preferred partners of the British High Commission for the promotion of education in UK. Now what it basically means that any student who's applying to the UK university, and when he's applying for the visa, his papers have to be scrutinized by us before the papers actually go to the visa home office. Now what that really means is, when the student is applying through us, we check on the academic documents that the candidate has basically submitted. We check on the bank statements which the candidate has actually submitted. We check on the bank loan documents. Normally we have a tie-up with State Bank of India. So, they are the genuine people in this kind of an industry. but we
So
still
that's your
reconfirm.
responsibility.
Yes,
That's your
that's the
responsibility.
responsibility of Education Link, and this is where, you know, we have a niche over the competitors.
Has there ever been a problem? Have you ever had any sort of...
Touch wood.
No?
Not till now.
Nothing
So far. Nothing so far. I mean, this way, you know, we have been extremely transparent with our students also. Now, in case we feel that the student is not up to the standards in terms of his academics and in terms of his finances, we normally...
Are you honest enough to tell them that, you know...
Yes, yes. We would not like... Yes. We would not like to keep them behind the doors, you know, and keep giving them the optimistic ideas and solutions that you're going to make it. No, if the person is not having the right kind of finances, we'll tell him on his face, sorry son, you know, I don't think so, you've got the right kind of finances. But having said that, now someone who's not having the finances with him can still go and study for universities abroad.
Yeah. And that's
the
how you
idea
help
is,
them,
yes,
fund and find scholarships and so on and so forth.
The idea is to get into the right kind of an institution with the right kind of scholarship.
Stepping on the gas, Education Link is looking beyond India. It will soon set up centers in Sri Lanka and Malaysia to cater to the student population there. Back home, Kunal is hoping to increase their presence in Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities. Driving in the fast lane, Kunal is also looking at getting into the coaching business. Soon they will offer courses for students looking at the GRE and GMAT examinations. But is this going to be the core business going forward? Are you planning to look, I mean, you are diversifying and getting into international markets,
right.
But are you planning to provide other sorts of services linked to the education space?
I mean, in terms of product diversifications, we are strategy, you know, we are still looking at quite a few other things. We are looking at the option of starting preparing the students for few other competitive exams. We've been doing it for the IELTS examination, but we're also looking at quite a few other options like GRE, GMAT. Now, when you are working with the Canadian universities, most of the institutions there in Canada are looking for GRE, GMAT score. Yeah. So we would rather like to be one-stop shop for the student. Education Link has got very strong strategic plan to have some kind of a base. In two of the countries which I can name right now is because we have already done our research work. Okay. Sri Lanka is one of them. Okay. And the other country we are looking at is Malaysia. Okay. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah. We've already looked at the place. We have already finalized the place where Education Link is going to set up.
And how much do you actually see the international business contributing to your revenues? Because obviously it'll be a slow process, but what's the sort of target that you've set for yourself?
For the last financial year, the turnover for Education Link was somewhat around 8 crores. We are looking at somewhat around 20 to 25 crores. You know, if we have the things in place, if we have the right kind of a setup in Sri Lanka and Malaysia, if we go by the same kind of a plans as we have set for ourselves, then I'm thinking that Education Link should be able to touch 20 to 25 crores.
Now you're looking at expanding your services. You're currently operating in all of the metros in India. You're also looking at Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities. So you've got a team of about 40 people. Where do you actually see it headed?
We've got a team of 40 to 45 people who are basically the counseling team members. You know, they're the ones who are giving advices to students about the universities, the courses the students should be looking at. And we have got another team of 40 to 45 people who are basically into the helping side, you know, looking into the visa documents, screening the applications, sending the documents to the universities, doing the marketing for Education Link.
A team of more than 40, Kunal hits the greens when he needs a break. He's managed to swing revenues of 8 crore rupees last financial year and is looking at putting almost 20 to 25 crore rupees by 2010. Traveling 25 days in a month, Kunal is living life out of a suitcase. But given his drive for growth, this young achiever is in no mood to complain. Traveling is something that you enjoy doing, and you're pretty much doing only that for about 25 days a month. But any other hobbies of yours that you?
I mean, I love playing golf. Yeah? I love playing golf basically, and I love to hang around with my friends. Whenever I get some time out, I normally go out on a vacation. Okay. That's again traveling, you know. But can't help it out, you know, there has to be a work-life balance kind of a
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true.
So Nepal is my favorite destination. You know, you can always pop down to Nepal for a weekend and then come back to Delhi
And
on
take
Monday
up the
morning.
grind again.
Yeah, take up the grind again.
Well,
That's
Kunal,
correct.
we wish you the very best of luck.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
very much for joining us on
Thank you,
Young
Shireen. It was a real pleasure for me to
Thank
be
you very
here on
much.
your show.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being with us.
Yeah.
We take a quick commercial break, but we've got another Young Achiever coming up, so stay right there. You're with Young Turn.